Today, from Buffalo Bills Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, this is Madden NFL 21. We'll see Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking on Sam Darnold and the New York Jets.
Now, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you look inside a Bills Stadium in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the New York Jets. And we are underway in Buffalo. Here's the All-Pro returner from 2018, Andre Roberts. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And partner, when you hear about a 6'5", 235, 240-pound quarterback, you don't often think of him being overlooked coming out of high school, do you? That's exactly what happened to Josh Allen. Overlooked, ended up going to a junior college, Reedley Community College out in California, before matriculating to the University of Wyoming, and the Cowboys were so glad to get him.
Number 53, Mike 53. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Allen, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the shotgun, here's Allen. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Allen looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
46, Mike, 46. Guys, this game situation.
Now Allen again. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Throwing is Allen on third. He can run. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Jets have recovered.
Allen on the keeper. Fumble on the
Here now comes the Jets offense, and the man that will be captaining the ship at 6'3", it's Sam Darnold.
I love how he exploded on the national scene his redshirt freshman year when at the beginning of the season he was not named the starting quarterback, but when USC was struggling, he got an opportunity, and by the end of the year, the Rose Bowl MVP, an epic shootout with Penn State, and put him on the NFL radar in a big way.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now the first carry here for Frank Gore. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Now it's Darnold. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Ed Oliver, that time, the one to get in there and bring him down.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Andre Roberts is deep for Buffalo. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
On first down, Allen finding Knox there, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Mike 46.
Allen going to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You gonna let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Go set. 58.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And his pass incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They run. It's Gore. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Edmonds on the tackle.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Darnold finding Perriman there for a New York 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st down, it's Gore. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Darnold from the gun. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Denzel Mims that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0.
Bills nothing.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Andre Roberts now to return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Out of the gun, he'll throw. He's going to take off with it. Oh, what a juke into space. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
46, 46.
Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brought down at the 30.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They will run with Singletary. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Singletary.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Singletary here running out of the gun. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 26. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And he'll go out of bounds inbounds inside the 15-yard line. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Singletary. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Allen on target there to Stephon Diggs. And the Bills have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And Valentine going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, a run for Johnson.
Ty Johnson, the ball carrier. He's tackled at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down. That's the end of the first quarter.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Jets on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman.
Darnold's pass.
That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver. Whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter, they'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
So after the INT, it's Allen working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dawson Knox, a touchdown grab for Josh Allen. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Cause I deserve that. It's time to learn that. Mess around and put that thing up where you burn it. 6 seconds every year, yeah.
Pass on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
On the return, the Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own.
This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Airing one out for Crowder. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Buffalo set to get the football back here, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Right at the line of
In on the stop that time, Terrell Basham. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Allen. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 39-yard line.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 2 yards on that play, and the Bills will move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
He was brought down by...
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Allen. The left side caught by Diggs. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 20-yard line. Allen to Diggs there for a Buffalo 1st. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Neville Hewitt able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He can run for it, and he will. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Now Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bills will extend their lead. So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
It's unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
And it's 21-3. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Valentine to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 30.
And our focus now shifts to Frank Gore. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. He's going to take off with it. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Buffalo Bills.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They run here with Singletary. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. It'll be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Again, it'll be Singletary. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to run with Singletary. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Devin Singletary taking it in. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Frank Gore and company trotting back out there as they get set to go again on offense. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Darnold. Crowder's got it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Here we go, Sam. Yes, Mike. We own them. We own them.
Faking the give, Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Come get some. Come get some.
Johnson on the counter. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Here's Braden Mann now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. It's complete to Brown, right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
The pass to Brown as he hauls it in. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing again on second down. Allen, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Again, they'll throw with Allen, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
23-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
64, 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike.
On first down, Darnold. Open man is Denzel Mims. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
58, boys, 58.
Now Darnold. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it's 3rd and short. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Darnold from the gun. That is caught. It's Perriman. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. He'll air this one out for Mims. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, and then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Throwing on first down is Allen. And this will be incomplete. Allen, physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Allen throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up third and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Let's go, defense. And here we go.
This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Buffalo Bills. First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw Devin Singletary with the strong first half. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
For this life, I think I earned all my stripes. I don't believe all the hype. Get back on my feet and get right. Watch you work, watch you tape.
The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession, and he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now it's Darnold. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Denzel Mims that time, but it's going to be second down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On second and 10, Darnold throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a third and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. To return is Roberts. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. On first down, Allen. Throwing right, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll run here with Singletary. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Single.
From the gun, it's Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 15-yard line. First 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. 51. So the shotgun snap to Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. He may try and run, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
25-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up the throw from the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Complete to Jamison.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Blue there. 49.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 16 yards, a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the 50, it's Darnold. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Chris Herndon, and it's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Darnold to throw again. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
It certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's the Jets punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
20-yard line.
The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, That leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Mike, 53.
He'll look to throw right away. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a run with Singletary. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
The ball carrier.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, Singletary. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
At the 41-yard line.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They go right back to Singletary. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Here's Singletary. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he's going to get this down close to a 1st at about the Jets' 32. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Play action. Now it's Allen. The left side caught by Diggs. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
53. Get the ball. Check. 53.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Cole Beasley there to make the grab. And this offense is running away with this one. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Pass on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. And New York set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Check, 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 check.
From the 39, Darnold looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's the Jets punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Mike 46. Mike 46.
He'll throw from the gun. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Allen, and he's going to keep it here. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Allen now on first down, and he'll get this underneath to Singletary. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Back now in Buffalo. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Singletary here running out of the gun, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Singletary. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Devin Singletary.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
Offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because we were grading them on their performance in this game. A lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Sponge.
They will run with Singletary. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On play action, Allen. They'll roll him out right, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Terrell Basham gets him for a loss of a yard, and it will bring up 3rd down. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On play action, Allen. He may try and run for this. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Ballantyne to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 29.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. He'll have a 1st down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
49.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
49. 49's the mic. 49's the mic.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To the air again, Darnold. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 20-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
49's the mic. Watch 49.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
58.
Again, Darnold. He gets it left side to Johnson. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
For the field goal, a 32-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Jets 6.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in the end zone, and Roberts choosing not to bring this one out.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's third down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Allen. Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
46, boys.
Operating from the gun. Allen finding Knox there, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And 5 at the 47-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Singletary again. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 33 and a first. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On first down, Singletary. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
53. Check 53. Hey, defense. Hey, defense. Let's go. Let's go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
Singletary, the ball
Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
51 the mic, boys. 51. I'm on.
They'll toss this right side to Moss. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Loss on the play. It's 4th down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The kick by Bass is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand.
48, Jets 6.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Jets take over 1st and 10.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Darnold from the gun. Johnson with a completion over the middle.
Darnold's pass.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Darnold. It's caught by Herndon. And he will be taken down inside the Buffalo 20.
Complete.
It's a big play there for the Jets on 3rd down. 53 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing again is Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now it's Darnold. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, but now it's 3rd and goal. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and Roberts choosing not to bring this one out.
At their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Singletary to get the drive started. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Singletary, the ball carrier. He was brought down by Marcus May. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.